Meditations on Style Part 2. This video is a continuation of my previous video titled Meditations on Style. In that video, I explained the various different motives we have for wearing clothes. I then sorted these motives into a pyramid chart, arranged in layers, ranging from the most essential motive to the least essential motives, in ascending order. I then explained how we should use this pyramid chart for deciding which clothes we want to buy, by checking that the garment satisfies these motives in ascending order. For example, if I wanted to buy this overcoat, first I would check that it would keep me warm. Then I would check that it has enough pockets and that it can survive the weather conditions that I want to put it through. So for me it would be lots of wind and lots of rain. And then if it satisfies all of those needs, then I can make sure that it's a nice color and that it looks good on me. Since the creation of this video, I've had many more realizations about clothing, resulting in some adjustments to my philosophy of style. And I've also learned some valuable lessons in my own pursuit of dressing better, which I would like to share with you today. The first realization I've had is that I made a slight change to that pyramid of motives, which I just mentioned, in adding a layer at the very bottom, which is that our clothes must be healthy for the body. This goes at the very bottom because our health should be our very first factor we consider when buying our clothes, because it's our very top priority. This can mean avoiding clothes which are irritating to your skin, or avoiding clothes which have harmful chemicals in them, which can cause long-term health problems to the body. And since I've started learning about the dangers of synthetic fabrics, the consequence of this layer has come to mean that we should be avoiding all clothes with any type of synthetic fabrics in them. This is because it is a well-known fact that synthetic fabrics can cause a multitude of health problems, such as polyester underwear, causing infertility in men, polyester t-shirts, causing acne on our back due to trapped heat and moisture, polyester Gore-Tex jackets shed microplastics onto your skin in the rain, and all synthetic fibers shed some type of microplastics when they are heated up by our body heat. But you might be wondering, why can't we wear polyester on top of other layers so they don't touch our skin? Well, even then, the polyester fabrics can leak and find their way onto our skin. And also, they interfere with our body's biomagnetic fields because they don't resonate with our bodies like natural fabrics do. Yes, this is a real thing. I'll be linking all the sources in the description. Taking all this into account, it is clear then that we should strive to build a wardrobe without any synthetic fabrics in them whatsoever. And this concern should be our #1 priority when buying clothes. So this sounds all fine and dandy, but how do we actually apply this into our real life? Because unfortunately, many of us have become so reliant on polyester fabrics. Well, here's some advice that I have learned from making the transition myself. Firstly, throw out all of your synthetic clothing that directly touches your skin, such as t-shirts, underwear, socks, vests, and replace them with 100% cotton alternatives. This should be relatively easily done because they're easy to find cotton alternatives for these type of clothing, and it's relatively inexpensive. Be careful that you don't buy underwear with elastane trimmings though. Look for those with a cotton drawstring or with a natural rubber elastic. Next, replace your jumpers and trousers with natural alternatives, and I recommend doing this on the second-hand market to save money. Check the material tags very carefully and avoid all these fabrics: polyester, polyamide, nylon, viscose, rayon, and satin. If you're unsure about the fabrics, then search up if they're natural or not, and don't settle for anything less than 100%. And for the third step, try to find blazers and coats which would have 100% natural outer shells. And if it has an unnatural lining, don't worry, just take it to a local tailor's to get it replaced with a natural lining, like 100% cotton, and it should only cost around £60 in total. Although obviously the fabric cost will vary depending on how expensive the fabric is. These same steps should be implemented for exercise clothing. In my experience, this is best done using 100% cotton thin t-shirts and shorts and socks. And if you require more layers, then look for 100% merino wool thermal tops and tights. Or you can wear the old school baggy cotton sweatshirts and sweatpants. I also recommend wearing polo shirts instead of regular t-shirts because it looks better and it doesn't require any more money and it's just as practical. Altogether, this transition away from unnatural clothing might be hard to make at first, but remember that our bodies are a gift from God, so we should always be willing to sacrifice our money for a better holistic health and never the other way around. The next realization that I have had is regarding the style and fit of trousers that men should wear. You may have noticed in the precursor to this video I was wearing slim fit trousers. Since then, I have observed that old men tend to wear regular fit trousers, and I think that they look much better than slim or skinny fit trousers. I think that this is because the wide and straight shape of regular fit trousers makes the legs seem stronger, with a wider bone structure, and it hides the curves of the legs to give a more angular silhouette. Regular fit trousers are also designed to be worn at the waist and not at the hips, which creates the illusion of longer legs and makes the fabric move much more gracefully around the legs than low-waisted trousers do. In comparison, slimmer fitting trousers tend to make the wearer's legs look weak and fragile and generally quite feminine. I've also observed that gay men tend to wear slim fit trousers, slim fit clothing, all types of clothing to be honest, which you can interpret that how you want, but I see that as another reason to stay away from slim fit clothing. These same general rules apply for shirts, so look for classic fit or regular fit shirts. And also, if you can, look for pleated trousers. Pleats are the folds that fall from the waist, which you tend to see only with very old trousers, such as these ones right here. I believe pleats look very elegant and add another layer of masculinity to your outfit because they create the illusion of a thinner waist and also longer legs. To find your correct trouser size, I recommend getting your waist, which is here, and your inner leg length measurements, and then try on some trousers at a shop to get the exact fit that you want, and make sure that the trousers sit at your waist and fall all the way to your feet when you're standing up. Now, moving away from trousers, the next topic I'd like to talk about is I've learned that men should be wearing classic loose boxers. These are much better for your testicle health than the modern tight boxers, and you can find them easily online by just searching up classic boxers. Moving on from boxers now, my next realization is about formal shoes. The best quality formal shoes tend to only make shoes with leather soles, but leather soles just aren't very practical because they wear away very quickly if you're walking a lot. But you shouldn't compromise and buy from modern cheap brands with rubber soles. Instead, I recommend buying from those old esteemed brands which have leather soles, and preferably on the second-hand market, and then going to a local shoe repair shop and getting the soles fitted with a rubber sole. This way you get the best of both worlds, with the best quality shoes and a very durable sole, and it should only cost about £20 to get a rubber sole attached. Ideally, the rubber sole would be a natural rubber or gum fabric or gum, but this is just very hard to find, unfortunately. Now, moving on from shoes, I would like to talk about handkerchiefs. Handkerchiefs are a necessity. Everyone should have at least 5 handkerchiefs. Handkerchiefs allow you to blow your nose or wipe your face or your hands and are far more convenient than carrying tissues around everywhere. You can keep one in your back pocket permanently and use one for a couple of days before washing it and reusing it. Especially if you're in a colder climate, you'll find you often have sniffly nose outside, so handkerchiefs are the best remedy for this. Lastly, I have had many discoveries about neckties. The necktie is the center of a man's outfit, therefore it should be the most richly decorated and the garment which stands out most in your outfit. Neckties always look best when they are made from silk. But sometimes, for a very casual, down-to-earth outfit, wool also looks good. All ties should be a width of 8 to 9 centimeters at the base of the tie and at least 140 centimeters long. This is because wide ties have a similar effect of regular fit trousers, which is that they make you appear more assertive and make the wearer look wider and stronger. And the length of the tie should be at least 140 centimeters so that it can be folded properly and create a good length. The material of the lining of the tie should also be the same as its shell. This is so that the tie can last longer and regain its shape properly. So it's sometimes called self-tipped ties. You can check this by turning the tie over and looking at the base of the tie, and if it's just a black fabric, it's probably polyester. Also, the interlining should be a natural material, preferably wool, and this is for the same reason that it lasts longer and folds better than polyester, that is. The only way to check this, unfortunately, is by checking the material tag or the description, unless you want to cut open your tie and look in the inside. The most beautiful silk ties are made with what is called a satin weave. This weaving method creates a very rich color and a beautiful shining effect. However, don't get confused with a satin fabric, because that's just polyester, and the only way to tell if it is a satin weave as opposed to a normal twill weave is just by how shiny it is. So compare it to a regular tie and see how much it shines in the light, and if the color is much richer. And these usually come in like floral designs. So to summarize about the ties, look for 100% silk ties in a satin weave with self-tipped fabric, at least 8 to 9 centimeters at the base, 140 centimeters long, etc., etc. Those are all of my realizations that I've had, all the meditations on the style. So to summarize, from the very beginning, the health should be your top priority when choosing your clothes. That's a bit of a change from last video. So no polyester whatsoever. Regular fit trousers are far better than slim or skinny fit, also regular fit shirts. Look for rubber-soled formal shoes. Preferably get the old school type and attach your own rubber sole onto them. Wear classic boxers and look for satin silk ties because it's the center of your outfit. Those are all my meditations on style. Goodbye.